Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can turn your Facebook conversations in Messenger to booked appointments. So how you can turn cold leads into qualified sales calls for your agency or coaching business. I hope you enjoy. Bye. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can turn your Facebook Messenger into an appointment booking machine. Okay, so just a quick overview. This is going to be talking about cold leads. So reaching out to people on Facebook groups, inside your friends list, people that aren't really aware of who you are, what you do perhaps, right? So cold leads do not like being sold to, and they are very smart, as you probably imagine. Maybe you'd not imagine that, but they will know your intentions before you verbalize them. So it's important to take one of two approaches. Okay, number one is to send direct offers after they respond to your first message, no fluff whatsoever. Option number two is to build rapport first, get to know them, and then provide value, and then offer them something. Both of these work, right? But if it's just you and you're on your own, you don't have VAs or setters, I recommend number two. If you do have VAs or setters that are doing high volume outbound for you, I recommend number one. Okay, so let's talk about number one first. So having a direct offer approach is something which I do when having a team of appointment setters on my side that are all sending out, hundreds of messages every day across multiple platforms, right? So what they tend to do is they tend to go through different groups and they find a potential client based on their website link, based on what group they're in, and they send a message and say, hey, first name, I saw you in a few groups. What business are you building right now? Now, what we want them to do is to respond with, oh, I'm building an agency, because we service agencies, right? So if you service gym owners or if you service dentists, you want them to say, oh, I'm a dentist or I'm a gym owner, right? If they do not correspond properly and they are not building a business which you serve, the obvious thing to do is just to obviously say, okay, that's awesome, have a wonderful day, right? But if they are the person you are looking for and they have confirmed and qualified themselves for your offer, you can then reply with something along the lines of, awesome, well, to be completely honest with you, we have a brand new offer limited to 5 business owners in your niche. So you could say 5 agency owners this month, and you enter your offer. So whatever your irresistible offer is, you put it there and you send that message. Now, straight after sending that message, you want to type something along the lines of, is there something you would like more information on before all the spots go? Send. Okay? Now, this opens the door up for them to say, yes, they are interested in this offer or not. They're not saying they want to give you money. They're not saying they want to get on a call. They just are saying, yes, I would like more information. So as long as you have an irresistible offer, most people will say yes, right? So this is the whole idea, is you're going to get people putting their hand in the air and identifying themselves as an interested prospect for your offer, okay? So if they do say yes, you want to then send something like this. Feel free to find the info here and then enter your funnel link, your VSL link, whatever sales asset you have which talks about your offer, okay? And you want to send that and then say, let me know your thoughts, and then send. Now what you've got to do is you've got to give them time to watch the content, but you want to be following up every single day until they either book on your calendar or they say they're not interested, right? Because they've qualified themselves as the right person. They've said they're interested in learning more about your offer. So the next step is that for them to digest your content and book a call. That's as simple as it needs to be, right? So following up every single day until they say yes or no is super, super important. And that's where the results will come from. We have followed up for 25 days with someone before, and on the 26th day, they became a client. Okay, so use that as how important this is for you as a business to make sure you're following up. I saw a post the other day and it was like Fashion Nova, as an example, who sell $10 t-shirts. They'll send you 25 follow-up emails, 15 text messages, and 5 pop notifications just to get you to check out with your $10 t-shirt. Now, you're a high-ticket service provider and you maybe send 2 follow-ups right now. So you should be sending as many follow-ups as humanly possible. People might say, right, the obvious thing is, I don't want to be spammy, I don't want to annoy people. At the end of the day, this person's already said they're interested, right? So now it's your job to push them over the line and to get them on the phone with you. And that's all you have to do, is be persistent and consistent with your approach, and especially in the follow-up, okay? And obviously a few key points is never tell them what group you found them in. especially when you're doing the direct offer, because they don't know who you are, what you're doing. And if you tell them, there's a chance that they'll go and tell the admin of that group that you're spamming the members and you'll get banned. Okay, so just don't do that. Do not send long paragraphs. Keep it short and sweet and straight to the point. Do not talk about sales or your offer until they have replied. So biggest mistake I see, if people just blast their offer in the first message, it gives the whole wrong impression. You want to at least get a response first and then use that as a opportunity to present the offer. Okay, and like I just previously said, following up is the most important task for turning leads into sales calls or just generally into a discovery call. Okay, now we're going to go on to the next section, which is building rapport first. So this is really important. When you're building rapport first, you shouldn't be thinking in the mind of, I'm going to get this person to book an appointment on my calendar. Your whole mind should be, I'm trying to build a relationship of trust and value with this person, so later down the line, they will feel comfortable booking on my calendar, right? Two completely different strategies. And again, this works really well if you have time on your hands. If you're below 10K a month, you're just trying to find your feet, you can sit on Messenger all day long, having conversations, building relationships with people, and it works great. Okay, so really important is that you make jokes, you're funny, you send voice notes as an option as well, just to try and break down that barrier. Use short form slang such as LOL or emojis or a smiley face. You want to be using their answers as a way to respond so they feel heard and understood rather than pushing out 21 questions from a script. Most people have virtual assistants that just send question, regardless of the person's answer. Now, you want to be using their answer as leverage to build trust by, acknowledging and listening to them, right? And then they'll feel heard, they'll feel much more respected, so they're more likely to actually continue the conversation, which will then lead into a booked appointment. Again, be human, talk to them as you would a friend on Facebook. I say this all the time to our setters. However you speak to your friends or family on Facebook, you normally type like really short form, like I do anyway, like a bunch of like short messages one after the other. You want to be using the exact same format when you're speaking to potential clients, okay? Because you're speaking on a social media platform. You're not on LinkedIn, you're not on cold email, you're on Facebook. So treat it as you would if you spoke to anyone else, okay? Also expect this kind of process for the second option to take about a week before you're getting anything out of them, before you're getting on a call, okay? This is the whole idea, right? You're building a relationship, you're building that trust, and it's not done overnight. It can take weeks for this to kind of compound and turn into a booking appointment. So it's really important that you understand that before getting started. And also when you message these cold leads, let's say you've added one as a friend because you saw them in a group and you get a notification that says, James Manley accepted your friend request. You want to say, hey James, great to connect with you. What business are you building right now? Smiley face, right? I'll say, hey, I'm building an agency. What about you? And then at this point, you'll be replying as fast as humanly possible because you've got them to respond. They're sat on their phone. They're sat at their desk and they're on Facebook, active right now. So you want to be like, awesome, man. How's that going for you? Got anything fun planned? Just have a conversation, right? As fast as possible because they're active right there. So you want to take advantage of that. If you're talking to someone that's from a group, perhaps they've commented on one of your posts or liked one of your posts, something along that nature, you could say, hey James, thanks for the like on my post in X group earlier. So you want to put the name of the group in this one because again, you're not being offer central, you're not spamming people. So you want to, again, reply as fast as humanly possible to this one. So they could say, no worries, James. And you say, are you a business owner too? And then again, have a genuine conversation with them and show humility and likeness with their answers. So this is just super important. Again, you just be human, be yourself, and make jokes, have fun along the way. And now when you're advancing them into kind of the next stage of the process, you're going to be aiming to revolve the conversation around their business or their current situation, right? If they said, hey, I live in Florida or I live, in London, you'd say, hey, I saw you mentioned you lived in London. Do you work for yourself or do you have a full-time job in London? Right, and then again, that breaks it down. You start to actually understand their current situation a bit more. You could also ask things like, what do you do for your job? What made you join these Facebook groups? How long have you been in business for? Are you a solopreneur or do you have a team? And you're just asking these questions to break down their barrier, get to know them more so you can have more ammunition for when you do eventually offer them some help or getting them on a call, okay? So This is really important. And then when you're continuing the conversation, it may die off. It is very normal. Not everyone's going to be a booked appointment. But if it does die off, you then want to be leveraging their engagement and posts on Facebook to reignite that flame. So let's say someone got engaged, right? And you saw the post a week after the conversation dying off. You could say, hey, James, congrats on the engagement. Or perhaps you saw their cover photo of their Labrador, right? You could say, hey, James, I just saw your cover photo. How old is your Labrador, by the way? So cute, haha, right? It's a super short form, straight to the point question, but it has some humanity behind it. It has some genuine feelings that people will be able to actually respond to without feeling like they're being sold to. Okay, so some key points around this kind of strategy is some leads will be harder than others to nurture. Some will take 24 hours or less, or some will take 10 days or more. Okay, when you feel it is a good time, you must push them for booking on your calendar. Okay, so when you're doing the second process and you're trying to build up rapport, you'll find a naturally good time, right? When you start talking about their business and what their goals are, you'd say, oh, by the way, we actually do work with agencies and this is what we offer. Would you be interested in taking a peek at what we do? Perhaps it could help you in the future. They say, yeah, no worries. Okay, here's our funnel. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts, right? And then that ignites the flame. Now you can follow up with them and now you can be persistent with them to actually get them on the phone, right? And a real quick tangent to go off on. This is really important, right? So when you're getting people on the sales call or booking your calendar, you're not trying to sell them anything. You're just trying to help them, right? It's super important. You're not trying to sell them anything. Your offer is merely a tool to get them interested in speaking with you on the phone. Once they're on the sales call, you obviously go through a sequence that is all about breaking down their barriers, asking questions, and understanding even if they're a good fit for what you do, right? So it's super important that you know that when you're doing this process. If a lead is not interested and gives you a hard time, step off the gas for a couple of days and then come back around. Some people might just be having a hard day, just aren't in the mood for this conversation. So you can always leave it, come back around in a few days' time. Or if you know a lead is the perfect fit for your offer, you see them in a bunch of groups, you've seen their website, you know that they're actually a great fit, make sure to keep tabs on that person and keep reactivating the conversation every 2 weeks or so, okay? Also, do not chase people who do not want to be chased. Remember, 3% of the market is always in the buying phase. So they're always looking for what you're offering. So 3 out of 100 people, it's going to be a no-brainer for them to actually say, yes, they're interested in what you offer, and yes, they want to chat. Okay? So don't waste 80% of your time on working on the people that are just don't need your help, are not interested, okay? Once you get the impression that they're a bad lead or they're going to be more hard work than it's worth, let the content that you post, let the engagement that you build up over time nurture them for a long period. Because some people might take years, right? Some people might actually take years. So it depends on where they are in their journey and how much they're aware of their problems, right? Some people might just be starting off in the business world. They might have zero capital and you just don't want to waste your time, right? When I started off for the first 3 months, I literally just worked 12-hour days just in Facebook groups learning. Like I didn't have any money to invest. I was just learning. I was watching videos, commenting, and just engaging and actually just trying to build up connections and networks and see what's working with other people. And when people offered me, I've got multiple calls that I thought was just a general chat. And they were like, yeah, our product's 10 grand. And I was like, bro, I've never had 10 grand. Do you know what I mean? So it's super important that you're aware of who you're talking to, right? So if someone generally says, hey, I'm just starting out, I have no clients, I have no money, I have no business yet, I'm just building up, that's a great lead for a few months' time. When they actually start getting some clients in the door, they will then come to you at a later date. Don't try and push them into a box that they're not going to fit into, because you're going to waste your time, your resources, and it's just going to be a whole waste of money in the end, right? So you've got to be very aware of who you're talking to, and that's why you answer questions first, okay? Or have calendar questions on your booking form so that you can identify when someone's coming onto your call if they're actually qualified or not, okay? But we'll get into that in another training. Hopefully this makes sense. Again, I love both of these ways. I think they both work really well. If time is your friend, you want to be choosing option number 2. If you don't have as much time, you're scaling your business, you want to be looking at hiring appointment setters, VAs, whoever who can just mass send the first direct offer option, okay? Because all you're looking for is volume. You know you have a great offer, you know you have great testimonials, you have a great service. So the more people that see your offer, the more clients you will sell, right? It's kind of like a paid ad, but an organic system that kind of does the same deal, right? So yeah, hopefully this makes sense, and have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you guys very soon. Bye.